This is Mike Jenkins from Mike Jenkins Reviews, and I am here to do some surgery. I have in front of me Glimmer. She is from the Vintage Princess of Power toy line, and I spent a couple of years back in the day collecting Princess of Power. When I was a kid, I only had She-Ra because, hey, I'm a boy. And it's even true today, but I grew up in the 80s, and it was taboo for a boy to have dolls or female toys. To be caught in the pink aisle at Toys R Us was not a cool thing to get caught doing. And, as a kid, I hated Barbie. I still haven't seen that movie with Margot Robbie. I plan to someday. But just having dolls was just not a thing to do. And so when She-Ra came out, I was a huge He-Man Masters of the Universe fan. Watched the cartoon, collected all the action figures. And then Secret of the Sword, which introduced his twin sister, came out in the theaters. And of course, I was one of the privileged kids back in the day that saw it when it came out in the theaters. And so I was nuts. I became nuts over She-Ra. But the bizarre thing about it was She-Ra was not in the He-Man toy line. She had her separate toy line, and she was for girls. So originally, my mother said, no, you can't, she's a doll, you can't have her. And I begged and pleaded and, drove her nuts. And then one day she actually showed up and snuck a She-Ra action fashion doll into my room. I wasn't, don't tell your daddy, don't let your daddy see this. It was that whole thing. And she was the only character or figure from the Princess of Power toy line that I ever got as a kid. But as a kid, I obsessed over the toy catalogs and always hoped that I could get Catra and Glimmer and Castaspella, Angela, Bo, all of those figures. And I never was able to get any of the Princess of Power figures besides She-Ra as a kid. So here I am, I grow up, I'm in my 40s now. And my main hobby is toy collecting, action figure collecting. And so a few years back, I made it my mission to collect as many of the Princess of Power vintage Princess of Power figures as I could. One of my cornerstone collections is Masters of the Universe Classics, which is an adult collector line that revisited that 80s toy line and came out with these super detailed articulated figures. It was a massive toy line that we've been collecting since I think that all started in 2008 or so, and that wound down a couple years back, and so now we have Masterverse and all these wonderful collections, Masters of the Universe Origins, etc., etc. But I spent a few years collecting Princess of Power. And Glimmer here is one of the figures from the first wave of Princess of Power back in 1985. And she is one of the core characters. She appeared in quite a few episodes of that cartoon series. And I do have a video review of her character, her vintage toy, as well as her classics toy. That's on my channel. You could look her up and take a look at that review. But I have this vintage figure here today. A few years back, I ended up losing her tiara, which really bummed me out. And so if you take a look at her here, she does not have her tiara. And back in 2019, I actually was lucky enough to get on eBay and find her tiara for 14 bucks, 2019. and I still have it in that packaging from so many years back. And I've yet to put it on her. So the tiara is just made to sit on her head. And so during moving or whatever, the tiara popped off and flew somewhere and I lost it. And I got a replacement. And one of the Facebook groups that I'm in, one of the Masters of the Universe groups that I'm in, said, you know, if you get a replacement, pop her head off and put the tiara on from underneath. So that way you won't lose the tiara ever again. So I've been like, oh my God, I have to pop her head off. And oh my God, I could ruin the figure. So here it is. I'm getting back into collecting and paying attention to my toy room. And this is one of the things I'm going to do. I am going to go in here. I am going to pop her head off. I'm going to put this tiara on and we're going to see how this goes. So you're going to be with me. Bear with me. I'm going to take this tiara out of the packaging here. You see, I'm going to remove it from the. Just pretty neat. What the hell else is there? Oh, I even got they even sent another dress, like a follow-up dress if something happened. Oh, something just fell off in the bag. That's cool. I got another dress if something ended up happening with her current one. This is what the tiara looks like. I don't know if I could, there we go. And I'm gonna pop her head off. And we're gonna see if we can get that, tucked from underneath. So I pulled Glimmer's head off. Not too difficult. I was freaking out a little bit there, but now we are going to put the tiara on her neck there. And we're gonna see if we can stuff her head back on. Actually, that didn't go as bad as I thought it was. So, now, I hope I don't have that tiara on upside down. Now we're gonna just, whoa, okay. That was easy. That went better than I thought it was gonna go. That was super easy. Oh my God. So now Glimmer is complete. I don't have her comb. I don't need her comb. I've got other combs. So, but the whole big thing was, because I've never actually removed the heads from my Princess of Power figures, my action fashion dolls, however you want to pronounce them or call them. Some people call them action figures. Some people call them dolls. And there was actually a term coined called action fashion doll. And so that's technically, officially what they are. They, the Princess of Power toy line is a hybrid of Masters of the Universe and Barbie. And that kind of is part of why they were in this weird niche. So they were too girly for boys, too boyish for girls. So the toy line ended up having limited success. And it didn't help that half the villains were in the Masters of the Universe toy line. Like Hordak was in the Masters of the Universe toy line, while She-Ra was in a separate Princess of Power toy line. So it made for a weird dynamic for both Masters of the Universe and Princess of Power. And, just the way Mattel managed the whole thing was quite a debacle. But anyway, I'm very happy with taking care of my Glimmer action fashion doll. She's complete now. And it only took 2019, 2020, 2020. It only took, what, 4 or 5 years to get to this point. But we've done it, and it's complete. So I just want to take a moment and do some action figure surgery and get a video up and keep things regular here. And I hope everyone is doing well with their action figure collections. And ta-ta for now.